Right now it's Wigan against Leeds in the Premiership quarter-final. Place in the semi-final at stake, the last one. Well, this is the first time that Wigan have been back at Central Park since the tragic events, of course, of just over a fortnight ago when Princess Diana, the Princess of Wales, was so tragically killed in that car crash in Paris, and so Wigan have decided to call for a minute's silence prior to this match. The events in Paris have had a profound effect on the population of this country and on the rugby league supporters in particular. That's a scene that has been repeated many times over the past fortnight. So, Wigan against Leeds in the Premiership quarter-final here at Central Park. Leeds will have the first use of the football. It's Anthony Farrell. Neil Cowie driving Wigan towards the 20-metre line, and Cowie in this match needing one try for a career 50 in rugby league. Now Henry Paul, he pops the ball back to Radlinski. Lovely play from Radlinski. Farrell releasing the ball, desperate defence. It had to be as well because Tony Smith was on his way. This is Henry Paul, and Henry Paul gets a try. He got one, he got two against Leeds a fortnight ago, and he has come up with another, his fifth try of 1997. Cantillon into the arms of Harris. Now Lawford to Blackmore. Blackmore, good hands. Cummins gets over the line. Ankle tap by Henry Paul, but he still had the momentum to get him over. And the referee checking with his touch judge that the ball was grounded okay, and it was. And so the try is given. And that's exactly what Dean Bell and Leeds wanted. And now Farrell, he slips the pass to Smith, and a gap opens up for Smith, and they're flooding forward in support, but Richie Blackmore gets to Tony Smith and pulls him down.
Outstanding pass there by Andrew Farrell.
Here he is again. Farrell with the high hanging kick, and they're chasing this. Gibson has missed it. The ball comes back to Paul, and Paul gets another under the sticks. Well, the high kick caused havoc from Farrell. Gibson was all on his own, and they were ploughing forward, Wigan in support, hunting the opportunity, and Henry Paul comes up with his second. Connolly to Paul, who steps away from Mercer. Great run from Henry Paul, he's on a hat-trick, ball out wide, Radlinski. Oh, great try!
Was it a shepherd early, though?
Well, Henry Paul, he's having a wow of a game. He scored two, and he has created one for Chris Radlinski. Wigan claimed a try or two in the 4 minutes immediately preceding half-time. But it's Leeds who are in possession with Lawford, and Lawford sees a gap, and he goes for it, and he tries to turn them inside out. He's got support. The support's arrived from Cantillon, and Cantillon just bounces over the line. That's a try. Momentum's taken him over, but the referee will pass it on to the video ref, I think. And the video ref will have to decide whether the ball was grounded, but this could be a golden moment for Phil Cantillon, the ex-Wigan junior.
Watch for the ball carrying arm. Bang. Now then, did he move it or did the momentum take him? I think momentum slid him over. It cannot be a double movement unless you move the arm, and I don't think he did.
Well, this is the moment, and Cantillon gets the try, and that's his first for Leeds. Phil Cantillon, who learned his trade here at Central Park as a youngster. He's not so old now, but play on, says referee Russell Smith. With Harris.
Well, Harris again looking for someone to run onto it.
Cantillon, out wide it comes. Good quick hands. Rivette will get the try. Central Park goes just a touch quiet, and Leroy Rivette gets the try. The ball sped through pair of hands after pair of hands out wide, and Rivette saw a gap and came up with four. 14 minutes of this second half gone, and O'Connor drives the ball in. And Talek has come into the fray as well, the French international. Tony Smith, though, suddenly starting to look busy in attack. That's a good ball to Henry Paul. Paul's on a hat-trick. Paul gets the hat-trick. Henry Paul was created by a beautiful piece of play from Tony Smith, and Henry Paul was hunting his third, and Henry Paul came up with the third. Well, we've been critical of him for much of this season, but Henry Paul, over the past month, has returned to his best. Number 14, Graham Holroyd, just backing out of the right-hand side of your screen then, into the defensive line.
The major factor, of course, Holroyd is a tremendous tactical kicker. As I mentioned before, in slippery conditions, the kick will play its part before the end of this game.
Henry Paul, support from Tony Smith. Tony Smith presses his foot on the gas and scores a great try. He deserves that. Tony Smith has had a fine game, created the last one for Henry Paul, and Henry Paul has just returned the compliment. Paul made the initial break, and Tony Smith was on the shoulder in support.
Apply the pressure. It's wonderful to watch.
Back they come again. Desperate times for Wigan. For Leeds, rather. That was Gail Tallick who drove that one in. There's an opportunity here. Chances, and John Clark. He gets the next Wigan try. John Clark with his first for the Wigan club. And I think that sets the seal on it. I think Wigan now are in the semi-finals. Such pressure. Will Wigan's defence crack? Matthew picks himself up. Cantillon at the play of the ball. Holroyd back the other way again. Again, this defence swarms around the Leeds man with the football. It's Holroyd. Holroyd long pass looking for Rivette once more. And again, Smith is there with Radlinski. Will it crack? Mercer flicks the pass to Holroyd. Holroyd dabs it through. Try! And that's a try for Cummins. Cummins is second. Well, they had 3 consecutive sets of 6 there, and Wigan supporters were applauding the defence, but eventually, like the thin ice of winter, it had to crack by Richie Blackmore. It's a shame, because that will be the last movement of this match. Leeds go out. Wigan march on into the semi-finals of a competition they have dominated. They have dominated over the past 3 seasons. Wigan, they've won 3 in a row, and they're now going for a record 4th.